everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the RGB10 Max. That's the latest device from Portability. So to do this review, we are going to go through key points that for me make a great handheld. So we are going to start with build quality, which will include the display quality and the sound quality. We are also going to go into portability, as well as user interface and the capabilities of the device, what sort of games it can play and what it struggles with. And then at the end of the video, I'll just do a recap on the points that I like about the device and some points that I dislike about the device, and then we'll give it a score out of 10. So let's get into it. So the first thing I look at on these retro handheld is the build quality, and I have to say that Portability really raised the bar with this device. Obviously the key feature and the unique selling point of this device is the large screen, and I really like the screen because it has really small bezels all around. So if you compare it to a device like the Odroid Go Super, the Odroid Go such big bezels, and I'm really not a fan of bezels. The shell itself is made with this beautiful rubberized plastic. The joysticks feel great quality, the joypad feels good, the face buttons feel great as well, but the only thing that I dislike about the device has to be the shoulder buttons. I think they are too small and too close to each other. I think Ambernic did a great job with theirs because it's slightly spaced out and slightly raised a little bit more. So I think they could have done a better job with the shoulder buttons, but overall the build quality is amazing. Now the device only has one speaker on the left hand side, but it's by no means a very small speaker. It's very loud, but unfortunately because it's only one speaker in the system, you get the sound quite heavily on the left hand side. But apart from that, the device is solidly built, so it's definitely a solid 8 out of 10. I still think the RG350P from Ambernic is slightly better built, but this is a very close second. We really like the way that it's built, we like the screen, and we simply just wish that it had two speakers instead of one. In terms of user interface, the RGB10 Max comes out of the box loaded with Emulation 4.0. Now this is a very easy to use system. Basically all you have to do is pick a system and pick a game that you want to play, and it's that easy. Now if you are someone that likes to tinker with the firmware and really customize the device, there are a lot of firmwares out there that will work really well with this device. One of my favorite, for example, is OS that I'm looking to implement on this device. So all around, out of the box, if you're new to the retro handheld community, it's a very easy device to pick up and play. So for that reason, I'll give it a solid 9 out of 10 in terms of user experience. Now in terms of capabilities, what the game can emulate, again, this is where the device is slightly disappointing, because it's basically just recycling the good old RK3326 chipset, clocked at 1.5. so there's really no difference between this device RGB10 Max and a device like the RG351P or any RGB10, RGB20. They are all using the same chipset, so there's no boost in performance. so you will struggle with the same PSP games, Dreamcast games like Sonic Adventure 2, God of War on PSP. So it's really a letdown. I feel like Powkitty had the opportunity to give us a bigger screen with better emulation, but what they've done, they've just simply repackaged their normal RGB10 into a bigger device. So in terms of emulation, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, simply because it doesn't do any better than any other RK3326 device out there. So it's a little bit of a disappointment, but still a good device all around because of the bigger screen and the good build quality. Now let's do a recap of things that I like and dislike about this device. So the first thing that I like about this device has to be the bigger screen. Is definitely a unique selling point on this device. I like the build quality on the device, and the sound is somewhat good, although I wish that it had a second speaker. The fact that it's also slightly smaller than a Nintendo Switch Lite makes it somewhat portable, so that's definitely a bonus. Now, for the few things that I dislike about the device, the first thing has to be the shoulder buttons. I think they are too small and there's not a lot of travel, so they don't really feel responsive. And the second minor gripe that I have with the device is simply the fact that while I like the larger screen, I wish it was a larger 4x3 screen. So for example, if you look at a device like the RG350M, I consider this device to have the best screen in the industry, simply because it's high resolution and kept that 4x3 ratio, which is native to most retro games. So those are basically the only 2 points that I have to pick with this device. But overall, it's a fantastic device. I highly recommend, and if I was to give it a score out of 10, it will be a solid 8.5 out of 10. So if you've not got an RK3326 device, I highly recommend that you buy the RGB10 Max, especially if you prefer the larger screen and are happy to sacrifice a little bit of portability for this gorgeous big screen. Thank you very much for watching my video. I'll be back with some more reviews. A like and a subscribe will be much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching.